Welcome to a very special episode of Two Beers and a Mic. Today we talk about a question of the day that I think we just have come to this realization that Stone will come up with most questions of the days, and he will provide them to me, and I will be in the dark on what they will be.
Let's get weird.
All right, let's do it. We have a beer review from a local Dallas brewery. We talk about the Masters. We talk about the NBA season that is about to end. Regular season's about to end. We're about to get into the playoffs. A lot of stuff going on there. And then a fun little trivia to end the show. Loser of the trivia has to take a shot of one of these three lovely liquors we have over here. This is Two Beers and a Mic. Here we go.
Hey guys.
How you doing there, bud?
Oh, we're doing great. Just back here at another podcast. What we got on the agenda today, man?
We have, a lot to talk about. So
we got a lot going on.
Tournament's over.
The NCAA tournament's over, yeah.
UConn. Nicely done. We talked about that.
We did.
On last week's episode.
Mm-hmm.
This week we have the most grandeur tournament in all of sports.
Ooh la la.
The Masters. We
The
get to listen to
Masters.
Jim Nantz talk about in his soothing voice about how Tiger is yet to miss the cut yet again. Poor Tiger. It's about time, I think, buddy. To see an icon go is hard.
Yeah.
But before we, dive into the real tearjerker that will be Tiger Woods, let's do a beer review.
Yeah, let's do it. Should we do it in the question of Mr. Nance, though?
Oh, absolutely. So
we
we do have
our beer review like this.
I think our beer review will be brought to you by the Masters Tournament. My name is Jim Nantz here, and on the third green, we have something called the Manhattan Project, which is a local brewery here in Dallas, Texas. We're going to try one of their beers today. Shall I grab it out of the SOK Lone Star sponsored mini fridge, Stone?
You shall.
Okay, all right. Fun fact. The Masters, the announcers are not allowed to call the fans or spectators. They must refer to them as patrons. So a little fun fact about the Masters tournament. But let's grab a beer out of this fridge here.
Let's do it. You said this was called the Manhattan, right?
This brewery is called the Manhattan Project Beer Company, located in Dallas, Texas. Right now we have, which I think these are very aesthetically pleasing modern cans. Again, we'll see if we can get a zoom in of that. Let me put it up here, of that sucker right there. One of those will be good.
Yeah.
This one is called Necessary Evil. Stone.
Necessary Evil.
So it is 12 fluid ounces, 5.3% alcohol by volume. It is a Pilsner from the Manhattan Project Beer Company. So for all you ASMRs out there, here's a nice little crack at the top.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Any patron out there that is watching Two Beers and a Mic, we would like you to know that to drink responsibly and that
we are not responsible for any occurrences that occur while drinking.
We are not responsible. Please drink responsibly, ages 21 and up. Stone, shall we partake in the necessary evil? Cheers.
We shall.
Good buddy.
I don't know if we can reach, but we shall.
All right. Cheers, everybody.
Sip. Slight spillage.
Don't you just hate to see a slight spillage from the that's the necessary evil.
It is.
Okay.
Oh, it tells you what it pairs well with. That's
Really?
kind of cool, though. On the back, it tells you it pairs
yeah.
well with tacos, yes, and the pool.
So I guess the word yes.
Okay.
And yeah, the pool. So
I could see this tasting actually really good with the street taco.
absolutely. I thoroughly enjoy this beer.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's a little bit more. I say every IPA is woodsy. Maybe that's because they have like something about them, or maybe they're supposed to be that way. But no, I think this is good.
Yeah, I think IPAs are, for the most part, they're thicker, so they're going to be hoppier.
Yeah.
They're going to taste more. When you say hoppier, that means like, I guess like weedier. which is
Right.
which would be woodsy. But
Not
the
like
Necessary Evil from the Manhattan Project Beer Company. Stone, we are changing our ranking system. We will
We are.
update the current rankings of our past beers to match our new system. But 1 through 10, what would you give the Necessary Evil?
Well, Jake, this necessary evil is very delightful. I think I'm going to give it a 6.9 out of 10.
A 6.9.
6.9. Above average, but not the best, but I would drink it again. Yes.
Yes.
Exactly what the
I-
can says.
I will love to give the Necessary Evil. I thoroughly enjoy it. I think it is not as hoppy as other Pilsner beers. I will give
Fair.
it a resounding 7.5. So an average of 7.2
What a wonderful score.
on the Necessary Evil. So hole in one. Ta-ta.
Ta-ta.
All right, enough of that.
Yeah. It was fun while it
It
lasted.
was fun while it lasted. So yeah, I thoroughly enjoy this beer. I think it's really good. On the back of this can, it says the Necessary Evil entertains the palate without fatiguing it. At first sip, you will detect a hint of floral character that immediately tells you this isn't your ordinary Pilsner. It is dry and crisp with a bit of our signature style to make it memorable. Necessary Evil is refreshing in any situation. I totally agree.
Yeah.
I think at 5.3%, I think this would be a killer golf beer
Oh,
if you
yeah.
weren't the type of guy. Like, I'm not the guy that can, I mean, call me what you may, but like, I'm not the type of guy that can go golfing and drink one beer per hole. But if you're like a one beer per, let's just say like 4 or 5 holes, right? Like, let's just say, you want to pop one open every once in a while. This
Right.
is perfect for that.
Oh, for sure.
It's
It's going to give you that little buzz that you're looking for.
yes.
But it tastes a lot smoother than the Pilsner that we had at White Rock Ale House almost.
Yeah.
So, or maybe not even smoother, but a little bit lighter is the right word.
I would agree. Not so like heavy on the tongue. You definitely get just like, it just goes down nice. It's
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I agree with you though.
It's good though. It's refreshing. It doesn't feel heavy or anything like that. So I think it would definitely go good with the pool or the lake.
Absolutely. So Necessary Evil, 7.2 average score.
Nice.
I will put right here on the 2 Beers and a Mic poster our rankings as of right now from all the beers that we have reviewed and rated on the podcast. I apologize to you, audio listeners. You will not be able to see that. But if you follow our Instagram, our TikTok, or watch us on YouTube, you will be able to see the current rankings list of all of our beers that we have tasted and reviewed, and we will keep those updated as we continue to improve you with our radio / podcasting skills. If you're impressed at all. I said impress you. That made no sense.
You can improve or
So-
impress me.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, now to talk about the Masters.
The Masters.
So one of my favorite players of all time, and he's known as the evil, the Necessary Evil in golf, Brooks Koepka.
Oh yeah.
Old Cupcake.
Old cupcake.
I'm a big Brooks Koepka guy. He's known as, I don't know, like the frat boy on tour, I guess. The dude's he's just a dude,
He's not your typical golfer.
No. He definitely has his own like little flair.
Right.
When you talk about Spieth, he has a little bit of a fiery mentality.
Right.
He's not afraid to let loose, and I think that's good for golf because golf for a long time was very boring.
Yes.
And no one really watched it. And then people like Koepka came along
Yeah.
and added some flair, added some personality to it.
Yeah.
So
Even with his outfits, man.
Yes.
I will say his outfits are pretty rocking. So
they are. He's got some sick shoes. He's signed by Nike.
Yeah.
So he's got some dope stuff there.
Yeah.
For the longest time, he'd never signed with any clubs as far as like any brands for his golf clubs and everything.
Right.
So the fact that he just now, I think he's just signed with Strixon.
Really?
Yeah, I think that was a last couple of years type deal. But I'm a big Brooks Koepka guy.
Yeah.
But, you know, obviously last year he made the choice to switch over to the Live Tour. He was the first. I mean, Phil was the first name.
Yeah.
Brooks was the first like current like superstar
Right,
that like
right.
still had stuff left in the tank.
Right.
That
That he was kind of going over to change the game of golf.
Yeah, him, and then Dustin Johnson followed after that.
Right.
Bubba Watson, obviously, after that, and some other big names over there. Cameron Smith.
Yeah.
You know, just some guys that like still had, you know, I think, you know, another major in them. And right now, Brooks is 12 under par through the second round. Finished this morning, like I think his tee time this morning was like 8:15 or it's 8 a.m. Eastern time, something like that.
Right.
So you know, the man's balling out right now. So I think that to me, the PGA Tour is going to try to find every way to make it to where he doesn't win because he's a Live Tour guy.
Yeah, they don't want him to win.
And that would be their worst nightmare is a Live Tour guy. The top 5 right now is filled with a lot of familiar names. At least the last time I checked it, which was about 45 minutes ago. Obviously they're still playing right now. It is 4 p.m. Central Time here. But you have Jon Rahm is up there.
He showed out that first round, dude.
Yeah.
What was it? The first or the second round that he 4-putted the first hole.
I think that was the first. I think that
was the first round.
Yeah, because yesterday was the first. Today was the second. I think he's still playing right now. I'll check on that. But yeah, talk about that 4-putt.
No, yeah, he came in. He shot his very first hole that he was up on. He 4-putted that mug and ended up shooting 6 on a par 4. Right?
Dang. Yeah.
6 on a par 5.
Let me see. I'll look at it. This was.
I think it was 6 on a par 4. I think he double bogeyed it.
Round 1. Yeah, so he got a 6 on a par 4.
Yeah. And then the rest of the freaking time, he just crushed it, dude.
Yeah. I mean, you would think, you know, Masters nerves.
2 or 3 holes, I think it was.
Yeah. So he went double bogey on the first hole. Then he went birdie, par, birdie, eagle. Then he got par, birdie, par, birdie, par, birdie, and ended 7 under to match Koepka after the first round. So right now the top five has a lot of familiar names, but one. So Brooks obviously finished today. He is rocking 12 under par right now. Or I say today, this will probably be released tomorrow. So you know, on Saturday or on Friday, Brooks Koepka is leading the round with 12 under par. Jon Rahm had just finished through 9, so he's at the turn right now. He's 2 under today, so he's at 9 under par. Then you have the amateur Sam Bennett
Sam Bennett.
Where's he from?
He's from a small town in Mississippi. Yeah.
So he's an amateur playing. So obviously the nerves of the Masters haven't affected him yet, which you just love those types of stories, man. I mean, guys that can, you know, that can just come in. You know, Will Zalatoris was one of those guys a couple years ago where the man was coming in. You know, he's a young buck.
Oh no, he's not from Mississippi.
Where's he from?
There's a Madisonville, Mississippi.
Yeah.
And then there's a Madisonville, Texas.
Oh, he's from Texas.
Yeah, he's
sick.
from Madisonville, Texas. That's crazy.
Oh man, well,
my mistake, Mr. Sam.
On us, you know, being Dallas natives, but,
right?
He's from Madisonville, Texas.
Way to represent.
Yeah. So rocking number 3 right now. He's 8 under par. He finished today 4 under. So you know to shoot 4 under. I assume this is his. Obviously, this is his first Masters. Just to have one of the hardest golf courses in the world, along with
in Augusta.
Yeah. And knowing good and well that it's the most widely known golf course in the world, probably the most like nerve-wracking tournament of all time.
Yeah. For sure.
You know, for him to walk up and hit 4 under par yesterday, 4 under par today, now he's just sitting 8 under in 3rd place. I mean, you just hope that, you know, he can. I think he's a guy that I'm rooting for as well. I do want Brooks to win because he has, like, I think his career has kind of sidelined because of injury and stuff like that. He went through a couple spells where, you know, he was a freaking like rock star. For a long period of time. I mean, was just killing it. Was widely known as the best golfer in the world. And then just he kind of dipped. He was always finishing, you know, towards the, you know, I think he was always, you know, consistently making the cut, but finishing towards the bottom,
Right.
making it. I went to the 2021 PGH Tour Championship in Atlanta, Georgia, and he played the first 2 rounds. We went on Saturday, Sunday. Saturday, he ended up hitting a root. I think he was like in like 5th place or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but he ended up hitting a root and like spraining his wrist and like had to leave the tournament and everything.
Jeez.
He ended up finishing last because he had to forfeit.
Yeah.
But yeah, just a rough few years for him, and then just the decision to be the first like big time golfer to head on over to the Live Tour.
Got to take some balls.
Yeah, I think
some big cojones.
Some big cojones. Yeah, he would definitely fit under that category in our ranking sheet. But
maybe we do a golf
golf
brand or golf players.
Yeah, that'd be fun. At some point, we'll definitely be doing that. Golf brands, golf. Yeah, I mean, if you're hitting
golf
Costco,
beers.
Kirkland, golf balls like I do, I mean, I'd say you got some big cojones. But
exactly.
But Sam Bennett, man. I mean, he's in 3rd right now. Then you got Morikawa, Hovland. They're tied for 4th right now. Jason Day, Sam Burns, Jordan Spieth, Cameron Young. I mean, these are all, Phil is top 10 right now.
Familiar names. And they were talking about just how, I mean, even before when you had mentioned Tiger and just some of the great players that are after that 10 seed, right? Just how hard is it going to be for them to actually get into that top 10 because of the players that are in there now? I mean, you don't have anybody in there right now that is lacking a hand or anything like that, No. The only person you could say, would be who we were just talking about.
Sam Bennett.
Would be Sam Bennett just because of his lack of experience. But aside from that, everybody is a solid competitor in that top 10.
Yeah, I think some guys I'm definitely rooting for. And if, gambling was legal in Texas, I would be betting on like Colin Morikawa. I mean, as young as he is, we
can go to Vegas.
Yeah. We'll head there right now. Play some bets. Or just Oklahoma, right up the street.
Oh, yeah. It's an hour drive.
Yeah. I like Morikawa. I mean, as young as he is, I think he's like becoming one of the big faces. If he can continue his like kind of streak. He was the youngest player to win like I don't think it was back-to-back majors, but he's won like 2. He's like the youngest player to get 2 like right off the bat, like right off rip. So he's been balling out. John Rahm, who's been like number 1 and like top 3 for like the past 4 years. I mean, dude's just been unstoppable.
Number 1 Rahm.
Yeah, and then Spieth, who kind of dipped off after his 2015 Masters win. Now he's kind of like reigniting his career.
Yeah, he has not in like a drastic way, but progressively.
Yeah,
for sure.
Definitely. So definitely a Masters to look forward to.
For sure. I would love to go to the Masters, man. That would be so much fun. I've never gotten to go. One of my clients texted me this past week saying that he was heading that way. I was like, oh, please invite me. He goes, yeah, I'm just about to load up my dog or load up my dog and the fam on the plane, and we're going to head out tomorrow. I'm like, cool.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Enjoy.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So let me ask you this question. If you were to choose, between going to the Masters once or for the rest of your life starting right now, getting to go to the WM Championship, the one in Phoenix, the one like the party hole, the hole 16, par 3 party hole, and get like the best seat in that big pavilion, right?
Right.
You get to go every year. You get to sit in that seat. Or you get to go to the Masters once. What are you choosing?
Oh, I'm going to the WM event.
Every year.
Yeah, every year.
Yeah, I agree.
For sure.
I
think the Masters is fun, but I think it's an experience. You go once and then great. Like it, it's cool. But as much as I love golf. I love watching people play like live and everything. But man, to try and do it every year would just be tough.
Yeah, it would. It would.
Speaking of though, did you see how much slack Scotty Scheffler was getting for his meal that he chose for the Masters dinner?
how
Applebee-ish it was.
Yeah, it was like lame, wasn't it? And,
right.
And the fact that Yeah, like what was it? Do you remember?
It was like, dude, hang on. I think it was like grilled chicken breasts.
Oh yeah, like mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
Something like just very very vanilla.
Yeah, exactly. Just not had no depth to it at all. He said, all right, so, oh no. It was, he said it was Texas inspired. He said it had a tortilla soup, a ribeye steak, and a warm chocolate chip skillet cookie.
Okay.
Now, I will say a Pizookie will slap.
Oh yeah. Oh definitely.
Oh, yeah.
I think one of the coolest ones, if you can look it up real quick,
Yeah.
was when, oh man, what's his name? Was it Song J M when he won? No, Hideki Matsuyama. Look up Matsuyama's Masters dinner, because it was like insanely cool. I remember looking at it and just being like, dude, like that's a really awesome dinner.
Let's see. Oh, it was an assorted sushi. He had sashimi nigiri.
Sashimi
Nigiri?
Okay.
Yakitori skewers, miso glazed black cod, and they say it's the greatest. It was the greatest Masters dinner menu of all time.
I believe it. Just like
That's what it's advertised as right here. That's crazy.
Yeah, I want to say, who had the lame one? I want to say it was like Bubba Watson, because
makes sense.
I think he had like two that he like, because he won one year and then someone won in between him, and then he went back another year and he had the exact same meal twice. But it was just like, dude, like you did the most vanilla. I don't know. We have to look it up at some point. We'll talk about it.
Japanese strawberry shortcake is what he finished with, though.
Ooh, yeah,
dude.
That's got to be the best one.
Oh, for sure. How do you compare the environment between Live and PGA right now?
I haven't really gotten to watch because they've been very just TV exclusive rights have been PGA.
Yeah.
And so like Live, you have to like go online and stream it somehow.
Yeah.
I haven't really gotten to watch any.
It was saying they didn't revenue almost anything.
Well, they don't need to.
Yeah.
They're funded by the Saudis.
They're trillionaire Saudis. No reason to.
Yeah, because they're just, I mean, until they run out of oil, which they'll never run out of oil, they're just printing their own money, basically.
They're just doing it for fun.
But yeah, I think Live was something that the PGA Tour golfers were sick of. And if you watch that documentary Full Swing, I know that a couple of them like to talk about it, but just the fact that the PGA Tour, I think you get like a whopping 2 weeks off. I think it's like 50 straight weeks of golf. Now you can choose which tournaments you want to play, obviously, and you don't play every single one.
Right.
But I want to say from the Tour Championship to the very first one of the year, you have. At the Masters, just a little side note, multiple trees have been falling on the course after a weather delay.
Yeah, the weather has been insane.
Reported, but a couple trees falling down on the course out there.
Dang.
But I think Live was just kind of like something where these guys who might have been at the tail end of their career or, catching flack for not, people like Phil, who, I mean, obviously he won the PGA Championship, I think in 2022 or 2021 or something like that. But just these guys that probably knew good and well, like these young bucks are coming up and they're going to win these tournaments.
They were just trying to find another way.
Like they got these big deals.
Yeah.
I mean, why would you not?
Huge.
You're not getting those deals you have to place. You have to make the cut after the first 2 rounds to even make money. So it makes a lot of sense why they decided, we just don't want to be on the PGA Tour anymore.
Yeah.
We feel like something needs to change. There needs to be kind of a revival, which I'm glad, Tiger was really the first person who brought golf back to like stardom.
Right.
Everyone loved watching him play, and he was like a Michael Jordan out there. Everyone was like, my gosh, like this dude's brought this sport to life.
Yep.
And then it kind of died off. I mean, Tiger went an 11-year stretch without winning a thing until he finally won. He won the Masters.
It was in 09, I think.
His
15.
His last
19
Masters
was his last Masters that he won.
Yes, not 2019. And so he went. So he like his last thing before that was I think 2008 or 2009.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're talking
leave your man,
or 2007, 2008.
Yeah, leave your legacy at that, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think you won that. That's awesome. Then you had injuries. You've had personal issues. Like,
And even you could even see him in the first round of the Masters. You could see him stretching his back here and there. I mean, he injured his leg at one point whenever he was in the sand trap. So
Yeah.
just, man, I think whenever you get to that level of a status of a player, it's got to be hard though it is hard to throw in the towel. I mean, because you're thinking about all these years of because Tiger has been through a lot as a golfer,
yeah.
and so then you just got to kind of think of. I don't know. You got to think of your future, man. How do you build a future for yourself from there? And you're not going to do it on a dying legacy. So, especially if you're killing your legacy.
Yeah, absolutely. I think like you don't want to, I know it's hard to hang it up like you said,
Right.
but to your point, like you also don't want to end your stretch being that like old,
right,
like dude
trying to do it,
yeah.
like feeling bad for him almost.
Yeah.
Right. He doesn't deserve that. Tiger was a great player. So I think, he needs to remain in good standing for sure. But
kind of like with Brady, this last year when he retired the first time after winning a championship. It's like, dude, like that's awesome. Finish it, like end it on a high note.
Be done.
I know a lot of people did that. Then, he was like, oh, well, I might want to come back. I mean, that ruined his, I don't know. He might be loving life right now, but you decide to come back. You lose your wife.
Yeah.
You probably lose your kids. I mean, he's Tom Brady. He probably didn't lose full custody of his kids, but like, you lost the time that you had with your kids, all because like you loved one thing more than the other.
Right.
And so now he's retired. Who knows what he's doing now? You can't come back again. You can't be that Brett Favre who retires 5 times. And then, that dude's like, doing Norelco commercials because he can't afford to pay his rent or whatever. I mean, I'm sure he's doing fine, but like how many Levi's commercials
how many Levi's can you sell?
Before you decide
people
to
just start laughing at you.
Yeah, it's like that. But
yeah.
I guess we'll transition over to the NBA season about to end.
Yeah.
So right now, who do you have? Have you been following along with it? So who do you have in your finals as of right now? There's I think most teams have 3 or 2 games left in the regular season.
Right.
After watching what you've seen in the last couple of weeks, who do you have in the finals?
In the finals, I've got to go with Memphis.
Okay.
I love Memphis.
Okay.
So I love watching. Ja Morant has had a lot of ish go on this year, and just getting caught up with some not so good stuff and not so good people, and just getting caught in the middle of things. We all do. But I would love to see them pull it out and win. So they haven't won jack squat in a long time. And so I would love to see them win, but I think they're going to end up playing the Bucks. So I think it's going to be the Grizzlies and the Bucks.
That'll be a real for all those under bettors out there. I mean, unless the Bucks just like explode, you got 2 really good defensive teams,
right? Nobody really to stop Ja. You don't really have a good guard base with the Bucks. I feel.
Yeah, I need to know. If I know that Giannis has been going on a tear, but like is Chris Middleton out for the year? Rehab and hope to be ready for the playoff. Okay, so he has been in rehab for his knee, pretty much the whole season. So if they get him back, he could be a guy that might be able to at least
help
somewhat like hinder Ja from scoring as much as he does. I mean, the dude's just a freak athlete, but at the same time, I think. You have Giannis, great defensive player. Brook Lopez, great defensive player, 3-point threat. You have Drew Holiday, who could. I mean, their defense is insane. So I think the Bucks are a surefire. I mean, they're the number 1 seed. They're the best record in the NBA. They don't get a lot of respect because they've just kind of like slow. I mean, they haven't really made a lot of noise, but they've just been pretty.
Pretty dominant,
slowly but surely being the best team in the NBA.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I think I have the Suns. I think like as fast, with KD going to the Nets and not being able to really find a true chemistry, and that whole crap hole that happened with him, Harden, Kyrie. I mean, the Nets right now are kind of like a dumpster fire of role players. They don't really have a main guy. So for them all to leave and for him to just be like traded to the Suns, the fact that he was able to mesh with Booker and Chris Paul so quick, they're 8-0 in games that he's played with them. I don't know if they've really played any real tough competition. They played the Denver Nuggets last night and won by 4.
Right.
Granted, Jokic didn't play, Murray didn't play, Michael Porter Jr. didn't play. So, is that a win that they're going to win in the playoffs when all these players are playing?
Right.
I don't know. I think they could. I think give them some time to mesh. I think the only thing that stops them is their chemistry. But I think if they continue the way they're playing
in the coming years, they could be dangerous for sure.
Yes. Absolutely. I just think with the team that they have with Devin Booker, he can go off at any time. Chris Paul can go off at any time. Kevin Durant obviously puts up a silent 30 points a game every single night. No one talks about him anymore because
30's just expected of him.
30 was.
But the day that he drops 25, everybody talks about it.
Yeah, it's like, oh, he only put up 25. It's like, dude, what?
Yeah, only.
But I think that would be a very, very hard team to stop. The Nuggets are the team that have the most kind of pressure put on them. You have a guy that could potentially be winning his 3rd MVP in a row. You have Jamal Murray's back healthy. Michael Porter's finally fully healthy after his kind of back injuries and stuff like that. You have a great defensive team. You have a great supporting cast around you. The Nuggets, if they lose, you're kind of like, why? What's the issue here?
Right.
Because obviously it hasn't been feasible in the last couple of years. I think Western Conference Finals, you're probably looking at, if it goes this way, I think you're probably looking at Suns Nuggets, depending on how the bracket shapes out. I think that could be a potential. But there's really no one else in the Western Conference that I can see dethroning them.
Yeah.
Lakers are making a run, but they just, I think the media hypes them too much. Yeah, they're going to be a first round exit. If not a first round exit, second round exit. They can't, the fact that LeBron, who, the man's a beast, let's be honest. But the fact that he literally went on he went and complained on social media to having 2 back-to-back road games and then having to play whoever. That's why they lost to I think it was the Thunder or something like that. And it's like, dude, you played in Salt Lake City. Probably, I don't know what the flight is from LA to Salt Lake City. Maybe an hour, an hour and a half. It's probably not that bad. And then he complained about playing the Clippers as a road game. Dude, they play in your same freaking stadium.
Yeah.
That's not a road game.
Yeah.
That's a home game.
Yeah.
You just were the away team in this sense. So it's like, dude, quit complaining. It's getting to a point where it's like, dude, you just got to stop whining so much. Because
I feel this is going to be very controversial.
Okay.
But I feel if he retires now, he is one of those people that holds on to his great name. And you can still argue for a very long time that he is number one. I don't think personally he's number one. I know a lot of people think that he is number one. And so if he stops while he's ahead, then he's able to maintain that, he definitely was number one or number 2 of all time,
Yeah. Yeah, I think with the scoring titles and stuff.
Yeah, I was about to say he just passed the scoring the all-time scoring record this past season, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it was I think it was a couple months ago, but he's the number 1 scorer of all time. He's a top and he definitely has a name for himself.
Oh now. Yeah, absolutely.
And I just think you're right. I think he's still putting up numbers.
Oh yeah, you're not seeing a decline in him by any means. He still seems very healthy. But man, I don't know how do you play with a player like that?
Yeah.
Because I'm sure that he's very assertive and he's very controlling of his team, and so maybe it's hard to play with somebody like him.
Well, and I think this is his, I want to say 3rd or 4th year on the Lakers now, and the Cavs just last year made it, I think, into a play-in game. So he left the Cavs 4 years ago. Took him 3 years to get to a point where they're even relevant. And they had to and it was just because they had a really good guard in Darius Garland. They had I want to say Jarrett Allen at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they just kind of snuck their way, I think, into a 10 seed, where they made, it was the first play-in game type stuff. So, but that was last year. This year, obviously, they have Donovan Mitchell. They still have Garland. They still have a lot of players. I think. I mean, what are they right now? Let me look at the standings. They are currently 4th. So, I mean, they made their way back, but the fact that he comes into these teams. And yeah, you're like, oh, we have LeBron, but then he leaves them, and they're like dumpster fire. It's kind of like with the KD. I mean, KD did the same thing to the Nets. He brings together Kyrie, brings together Harden. They trade away all these draft picks or players to get these guys, and they don't do anything. Harden's like, I got to get out of here, leaves. Then Kyrie requests a trade. KD requests a trade 2 days later. Now they're stuck. I mean, right now they're 6th because of those players that were there, but
what happens next year?
They have Mikal Bridges, who's becoming the guy for them, but he's not a guy that can be, a long-term solution for them. He's putting up points. The dude's a beat. The dude can put up points. Great scorer, but he's not the guy.
Yeah.
He's, and you just leave these teams and now they have nothing.
Right.
I mean, the Heat, they had to go. I mean, they made the finals, 2 years against the Lakers. But when LeBron left the Heat, you still had Dwayne Wade there, who was old and on his way out, and then you had Chris Bosh, who had heart issues. I don't even know if he was playing at the time, and then you just left him with a bunch of role players because that's what he does. He comes in. You can't pair a superstar with him because obviously Anthony Davis hasn't really panned out. I mean, they won the Disney championship or whatever, if you even want to count that. It's kind of an asterisk next to that championship. Give it to him if you want to. Give it to him if you don't. Or don't give it to him if you don't. But, I mean, whatever. Championship's a championship. But, Anthony Davis can't go freaking 2 quarters without rolling his ankle on the floor.
Right.
Kyrie worked in Cleveland before he ended up being a guy. He was just a role player at that point. So, I mean, he comes in, he brings a bunch of role players, then he dips. I think in the end, his main goal is he wants to play with his son.
Yes.
Can he get to that point? That'd be awesome to see.
I don't think his son is good enough to be at that point. I think his younger son is.
Yeah.
I don't think Bronny is going to be good enough to where he's playing in the next 2 years. I think he's good. I think he will spend all 4 years at college unless it's based off of his name. Which very well could be.
It very well could be. They might be thinking, if we draft Bronny, we're going to get LeBron.
Right.
And then you're like, I'll draft this player number 1 number 3 if his dad comes.
Right. But as far as skill and height and size, he's very sub-average height-wise at least. But skill-wise, I mean, great, fantastic player.
Yeah.
But, I mean...
It's just can you fill the frame? I don't think he's filled the frame. He has to fill it with athleticism, freak athlete. Obviously, he has the mentor to do it. He has the training to do it.
Right.
He has all the tools. I mean, think of what LeBron's training facility / staff / everything is.
Right.
I mean, he has all access right there and there. And if anyone says no to that, they're getting fired.
Right.
But
Jeez.
But we'll see. I think the NBA will be. I think this will be an exciting year. I think there's going to be a lot of good matchups. I think that there's a lot of teams that we haven't really seen a whole lot of that we're just kind of they could be good. Oh, they could be good. For the last few years, you've had teams that have crept from the 4 to the 10 seed, and you're just kind of
right.
You're not going to do anything. You're just in the playoffs. But this year, I mean, looking at these Eastern Conference stands, you got the Bucks, you got the Celtics, Ballers, 76ers. I mean, those 3 could literally be all interchangeable. The Cavs can make it. The Knicks are freaking ballers. The Nets, I think they just have that record because KD and Kyrie were there just leading that team. Then you have the Heat who could make a run. You have the Hawks, the Raptors, and the Bulls. All those teams. I mean, you got probably 1, 2, and 3, your Bucks, Celtics, 76ers, best teams. by far. Like I think they're 1 or 2 ranks above the rest. But I mean, 4 through 10 could all
Be for the taking.
be for the taking.
Yeah.
You ready to?
Oh no,
Oh,
I
you're
wasn't
playing
doing
with your
anything. I
phone?
was just playing with my car.
Oh.
Sorry.
Playing with your car?
Yeah, I was playing with my little Lego Aston
yeah.
Martin until I get a real one.
But yeah, I think it's gonna be fun. I think it'll be nice to see. So we'll do a quick ad read real quick. It's actually from our main sponsor, Business Solutions Technology. And then we'll move on to our
Question of the day.
Yeah, question of the day. And then after that, our
We have
trivia.
some trivia questions. Use
That's
our
right.
Smarticle particles.
So, Business Solutions Technology. Whether you need a printer, toner, or office supplies, Business Solutions has you covered. With corporate level product and family owned customer service, there is not a box that they don't check off when supplying you with your business needs. Business Solutions products are typically 50% the cost of your average big business supplier, like Staples, Office Depot, Office Max, Walmart, Amazon, all those, Quill, all you big businesses that order from Quill. We'll save you 50% with Business Solutions. Visit businesssolutionstechnology.net or call 214-663-3268 or visit businesssolutionstechnology.net and use the promo code 2 BEERS BEERS to get 20% off your first purchase. So that was Business Solutions Technology. What is the question of the day that you have for me, buddy?
So this is just a very quick question. I just need a very short answer.
Okay.
We've been on the topic of bathroom talk and nasty talk and everything like that. So I just have to ask very quickly,
Oh boy.
where is the strangest place that you have defecated?
Strangest place
Or most inconvenient?
that I have popped a squat. Let me
Popped a
think
squat.
about that. Let me
Loosen the
think about this.
hatch.
That's okay. I'm gonna let you start
That's
while
fine.
I think about it. But I want to listen to your story because I know you got one.
No, for sure.
Okay.
I wouldn't say that it's like necessarily a weird place. I mean, I think a lot of people have pooped in the woods before.
Okay.
Okay. This one just happened to be a little bit different because I was with my buddies and we were in high school and they had never been camping, like ever. They've never been outside of Dallas, like never seen a full grass pasture or anything like that. So I take them camping for the weekend. And the first night I said, all right, boys, we got to dig a latrine. I said, what's that? I said, well, you dig a hole and you pop a squat with your back up against a tree. And they're like, we're not doing that unless you do it. I said, well, by gosh, let me dig myself a latrine then.
Yeah.
So I did it. I dug it. I popped a squat. And sure enough, I see like 5 cameras pointed at me.
No.
Yeah. And all 5 of my friends were recording it. And the next thing I know, it's posted every freaking where. And I was
Oh
like,
my
oh, that
gosh.
sucks. But yeah, fat turd coming out the side of a tree in the middle of my 5 buddies.
Yeah.
So that was probably the weirdest place. Most awkward for them. I didn't care.
You didn't care.
Yeah,
That
that was
just
cool.
fine for you.
Yeah.
Weirdest place. Let me think. Okay, so I would. Okay, most like unfortunate is what I would say.
That works too.
Does that work?
Yeah.
Okay, so I would. This was a few years ago. I was at work, and I'm one of those guys that, like, for the longest time, I, felt like I had to go to the bathroom. Felt a little rumbling, a little tumbling in my tummy.
Little brrr.
Yeah. Just that little
Yeah, we got you.
gas bubble, whatever.
Yeah.
And I could have. I mean, it could be like I'd be like, I don't really have to go now because if I go now, nothing's really gonna happen, and then it's just gonna be like an ongoing procedure or whatever.
Right.
And then I would wait an hour or 2 hour, 2 hours, then I'd really have to go.
All right.
Now I don't know what's changed. I feel that rumbling, and if I postpone, I will get to a point where like I am like in pain.
Yeah.
Flexing my stomach, trying not to crap my pants.
Yeah.
If I wait on it. So like I was at work and I was moving something around or doing like a job or whatever, felt a little rumbling, I was like, I'm gonna finish the job. Well, I ended up getting to a point where it hit me like out of nowhere. Bang, bang. And I was like,
worst.
I was like, no. And so I like you get to a point where like you get up and like you're like hurting, like your stomach hurts. And so I was like going to the door and then like you get to a point where you have to like stop moving because if you move, you'll like poop yourself.
Oh yeah.
And so I was just like flexing, like and you're like holding, like your
Oh, yeah.
clinching
Yeah,
your
you're
butt
clenching
so
your booty.
tight. Well, I was like, I couldn't do it without like causing myself to have a hernia.
Right.
So I released like the slightest
Oh.
bit, bro,
Just in your pants.
in my pants.
Oh.
Just like the littlest bit to where it was like just
Uncomfortable.
super uncomfortable and unfortunate.
And itchy.
Yes. And so like I mean this was like 10 a.m.
Like a mud pie.
Yeah. Just like the little Hershey
Oh,
kiss,
so you had
would you
the fresh
say?
britches on.
Yeah. And so I had to go to the bathroom. I locked the door, took my pants and my underwear off, tried as much as I could to clean it, with the limited stuff you had. And then I
went commando the rest of the day is what you did.
is what I did. And there was no, I actually ended up going back to the hotel where all my clothes were. I was like, hey, I got to go. I might even told my coworker, I was like, I got to run to Home Depot real quick. And I went to the hotel, had to change shorts, had to change underwear, had to like make sure my ass was like clean before I came back. Came back about an hour later or like 30 minutes later and was like, all right, ready to go. But yeah, it's just one of those unfortunate events where, you did that little, you just released just a little bit, just hoping.
Thought and
you were hoping it was a fart. It was not a fart.
No. Them turtle heads are deceiving, boy.
Yeah.
It's okay though.
It's all right.
All right.
We're going to do something new on Two
we
Beers
are.
and a Mic. Our little trivia is what we're going to do. So we have 3 rounds of trivia. We have easy, medium, and hard. And so we're each going to do 3. I'll give Stone 3 trivia questions. He will give me 3 trivia questions. The person with the least amount correct will have to take a shot of Deep Eddy's Peach or
Let's do some screwball.
apple. You want to do Screwball? Do we have enough for 2 shots in there, you think? Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. All right, we're going to do
I
Screwball.
don't know what kind of shots you take, but
What
for
is
me.
so? Quick question for you: what's a really good Screwball cocktail that you make? Have you ever? Have you ever made anything with Screwball?
I've made a screwball and Bailey's.
That's good.
Screwball and Bailey's is really good, and if you put like a little bit of Dr. Pepper in it as well, it makes it taste just like a creamy Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
But with a little bit of a peanut butter
With a little
kick.
peanut butter.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, but I've never. I mean, dude, actually, a funny story about Screwball, real quick. The first time I ever went home with Kennedy, my fiance lives in Utah, and the first time that we ever visited, her grandpa, who's probably, I think, 82 or 78, one of the two. He won't see this, so he won't be able to get mad at me.
There you go.
But he pulls out a bottle of Screwball, and he goes, "Oh, does anybody want to take a shot of some Screwball?"
A shot of some Screwball.
And I was like, "Oh yeah, bud, let's get some of this out." And sure enough, dude, like them bros were trying to get me messed up. Like they were just pouring Screwball shot after Screwball shot. I was like, guys, I've never even had peanut butter whiskey in my life. I was like, but this is great. This is awesome. So that just kind of developed our relationship over a bottle of Screwball.
There you go. Well, now you have a great memory of Screwball.
Exactly. But yeah. So, anyways, all right? Don't go too hard in it now. But what's your first question?
Okay. I got you. So my first question, it is easy challenge. Ready?
Okay.
How many colors? And you have to answer within 5 seconds.
Okay.
How many colors are there in a rainbow? 5, 4,
6.
3, 7. You were so
Gosh,
close.
dang it.
You're so close.
God.
I mean, if we wanted to play like gray area, you would kind of be right because, I mean, indigo and violet are like, I would say the same thing, but Roy G. Biv, ROY,
yeah, right.
G,
Roy G.
B-I-V,
Biv.
that's
That's
7.
part of it. That's 7.
I got you, man.
Dang
I mean,
it.
it's a hard.
Okay.
To answer that fast is hard. So,
Okay.
so
That's okay.
what you got for your first question?
All right. First question. Are you ready?
Yep.
Do you want an ABC or do you want to fill in the blank?
I'll
give you the choice.
ABC.
ABC? Okay. The average lifespan of an MLB baseball is A, 5 to 7 pitches, B, 6 to 8 pitches,
Okay.
or C, 12 to 13 pitches.
Oh man, the average baseball.
The average baseball.
I'm gonna go 5 to 7.
That is correct.
Is it? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm just constantly seeing those catchers reaching for new ones. So I just thought, man,
all
it's
the
got to be the
time.
lowest one. And I'm sure those pitchers are like, I got to put a little bit more of that.
Yeah, a little sticky stick.
Yeah, that little sticky on that little tar on.
Yeah.
The ball. Yeah. All right.
All right,
So-
next one.
so-
Screw you. You got one.
Sorry. I mean, I got kind of lucky there.
We should keep a scoreboard. Oh, we can
We
get like a little
should.
chalk marker actually, because we can write on this.
Yeah, that's right. All right, we'll do that for the next one for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, number 2. Cynophobia. CYNO. Cynophobia is the fear of what? And I'll give you more time on this. I'll give you more time
Okay.
on this.
Okay. Cynophobia.
Yep.
What would
C-
sin? CYN?
CYNOPHOBIA.
Like insects? Does it have to do with insects
Nope.
or centipede?
No.
Cynophobia. Gosh dang.
I'll give you 3 guesses because it's hard.
Okay.
It's a hard intermediate, but I
Okay. Cynophobia. Fear of dreaming.
no.
Does it have to do with like an animal?
Yes.
Okay. Cynophobia. The fear of furry animals.
No. One more.
Fear of reptiles.
No. Fear of dogs.
What?
I know. Yeah,
Dude.
I thought you of all people
That was
would know
pretty
that. But that's why I kind of picked it for my intermediate because I was
like
like,
that.
he might know that right off rip.
I should. You got me on that
But now
one.
you know it.
I'm gonna start using that on
Yeah.
people. I'm gonna be like, I can't train your dog. I have
I have
cynophobia.
cynophobia. I'm a dog trainer with cynophobia.
Exactly.
All right, what's your second one for me?
You're up. This is not looking good for me.
It's all right. You got a
All
lot.
right. I'm sorry I did not take as much consideration into this.
That's okay.
But I do have another ABC question
Okay.
for you.
Let's go.
So the stage before frostbite
Okay.
is A, frost burn,
Okay.
B, frost nip, or C, polar burn.
Okay.
So you have A, frost burn.
Frost burn, polar burn, or frost nip.
Right.
Frost nip.
Ah, shit.
Is
I gotta
it?
go. Yes, I gotta
Oh,
do
man.
these harder, man. This is stupid.
I feel like I've heard of that before.
yeah, I probably
little
should have done that with my easy
frost
one.
nip. And you know what? My context clue on that was literally the song that goes Jack Frost nipping at your nose.
Oh,
and so I
yeah.
thought about that. I was like, oh,
at your nose.
yeah.
That's a great song.
So yeah, thank you for whoever wrote that song for giving me the answer to that. So we already know you're gonna take a shot here.
We have a shot glass so I can start pouring at
Yeah,
least.
here you go.
Read me your third question though. I want to at least feel like I do something okay.
Okay.
Unless I'm probably gonna get this one wrong too.
So this one has to do with a liquor. Which liquor, and it's one of the main ones, right? Is made mostly out of juniper berries. I will give
It's a
you.
liquor?
I'll give you ABC because you've been giving me ABCs. I'm going to give you
Just
ABCs.
the last one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
please.
Okay. So you have that hurt. There you go.
There we go.
Okay. So which liquor is made mostly out of juniper berries? You have A, whiskey, B, tequila, or C, gin.
Gin.
You're right.
Nice.
It was hard to do ABC on that, but yeah, you got that one right. So it is gin.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you.
Yeah, one of three.
I wouldn't have known what context you were even speaking in, to be honest with you, because whenever I was thinking juniper berries, I was thinking like, well, I guess yeah, it would only make sense to be mashed with it or something, huh?
Yeah. Oh, like a wine or something.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah, because it's like because I
don't
think
know.
I mean there's a million things wine could be made out of.
yeah.
I think there's there's
I almost, dude. I saw a wine vineyard for sale the other day, but that came like with your house.
oh really?
Oh, it was so beautiful.
That'd have been nice.
All right. Well,
Do wine vineyards grow good here in Texas?
they actually do
Really?
in East Texas. Yeah,
Okay.
they do.
Humid climate, I guess.
Yeah,
Okay.
humid, moist ground. Moist.
For all those people that hate the word moist
Moisture.
out there. I know my mother hates the word moist.
So does Tate.
Moist and nougat.
Nougat.
For some reason, she didn't like nougat.
That's funny. All right. Here's my last one. You're not
Okay.
getting the ABC
Let's see
answer
it.
on this one. What animal has been known to sleep up to 3 years if the weather isn't moist enough to meet their needs?
3 years. Koala bear.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
No.
Dang it. What is
That
it?
is pretty good, though. Snails.
Snails.
Snails. I didn't even know they slept.
Yeah, I didn't either. I thought they were just.
I thought they
Whoa.
just kept on moving.
They're just. They have to. I feel like.
Yeah.
To make it. I wonder what the. I wonder how many, if you could even calculate how many average snails per year are crushed on the road because they think we can make it.
Oh, dude. Why did the snail cross the road? Because he thought he could make it.
Because he thought he could make it.
Well, I guess it's about time for this. Should we do an ASMR up to my throat right here?
Yeah, just you got to hear the nice, and then the.
Oh God!
All right, man. 3, 2, 1, down the hatch. Does that feel a little warm in the belly?
Not bad. I do like screwball.
I know. Yeah, we don't. Again, we're not trying to. We
got things to do.
We got to go home today. Yeah. So at some point we have to. Drive back and stuff. So we don't want to be super irresponsible. That's why we take sips of the beers. We rate them. We take one shot max, obviously, on this podcast.
Right. Sometimes two.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
If
if they're spaced out.
If we're feeling.
Right.
Fun.
Again, we are both above 6'4". Well, you're above 6'4". I'm at 6'4".
We're all around.
We're just very large men.
We're all 190. I don't know. What are you rocking right now?
Yeah, I'm right at that 190 mark, man. I got another tournament coming up. I've been having to drop weight, so maybe we should stick to one shot.
Yeah, okay. One shot's probably good.
Yeah,
one shot's
for
probably
a
good. But yeah, it's I would say definitely nothing like that's going to bring us down.
Speaking of, last thing to bring up before, just because it's happening tomorrow, is the UFC card.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the UFC card.
Is it Adesanya?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes, Adesanya and
Poirier? No,
Pierre. Is it?
Poirier.
How do you say his last name?
Pierre.
Pereira. Something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, it's their fourth fight.
Oh, fourth fight.
That
seems kind of
excessive. Adesanya has lost
every
the
single
other three. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So it's like, what are you kind of proving right here?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I only have to knock him out once. He's not. Yeah.
He's a little obsessed.
But yeah, go check out the UFC card tomorrow night if you get the chance, or Saturday night.
Yeah.
So.
And we'll be talking about it for the next pod. We'll bring it up as a topic for sure. We'll have next podcast. Hopefully Brooks Koepka or Sam Bennett is holding the trophy or has the green jacket for the Masters. We will talk about, I think at that point, the first couple games of the playoffs might be played, or it might just be starting. And then we'll talk about UFC 287.
Yeah.
Is that right?
280. I think the last one was 287. 287. I'm so sorry.
Is it 287?
You were right. Yeah, 287.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, again, before we log off today, the second round of the Masters has been suspended for the rest of Friday, and we'll resume tomorrow at 8 a.m.
Wow.
So we're gonna have a weird situation going on this year with the Masters. Hopefully, it doesn't throw off anyone's game.
Yeah,
which it probably will.
Yeah, it probably will. Could be interesting. Who knows? Sam has been on a roll, so hopefully he continues to pull through.
We can only hope. But yeah, we'll see you guys next week, and I'll see you. Probably the next.
We'll see you around, bud.
Maybe tonight. Maybe who knows what we're gonna be doing?
Who knows what beers we will partake in?
Who knows? We'll let you know though. But nice pod, man.
Good pod.
All right, check you later.
See you guys.